Hey, what's up everyone? Shane here with ROA Off-Road. I want to talk a little bit about towing today. This is a Thursday Campfire Rant, and I want to talk about safe towing and unsafe towing and vehicles that you can tow with. So let's get into that. Here we go. Once again, welcome to these Thursday Campfire Rants. Don't forget, we have a lot of these rants. Go check them out. We have tons and tons of topics on everything you could ever imagine, why you should buy an RV, why you shouldn't buy an RV, you know, the truth about Black Series, etc., etc. Just go check out our playlist. We have tons and tons of topics that we go over. Now, towing is such a complicated topic. I mean, maybe it shouldn't be so complicated, but it often feels like it is, and it's mostly because there's a lot of emotions wrapped up in towing, and the reason why is because the thing with towing, it's so important about the tow vehicle that you're towing with. And so many people have opinions on their personal vehicles. They become, I don't know, a part of the family. And when you have that member of your family and you think it can do more than it should do or it can do, and you come in and say, I want to buy a trailer, and we say, we don't think you should buy that trailer because your family member's a little weak. People just get upset and people get frustrated. And then there's also a lot of advertisements on truck videos, right? Truck advertisements over the years. Like there's this iconic commercial of a Toyota Tundra pulling the space shuttle, right? And this was such a big commercial. And so ever since that commercial came out, everybody's been like, Toyota can tow so much weight. And quite frankly, that's not true. I'm not saying Toyotas can't tow, but there's a limit to what they can tow, right? And a space shuttle, you know, hooking it up to a space shuttle and having it pull is kind of deceptive. I don't want to throw Toyota under the bus because I'm a fan of Toyota. I think Toyota is a superb product, but it can't tow a space shuttle all day long up and down mountain passes and through the off-road tracks. It like literally in perfect conditions on flat ground, I might be able to pull a space shuttle, because if you're on smooth surfaces and flat surfaces, a human can push a lot of weight with wheels on it, right? We have trailers here in the shop that weigh, you know, 5,000 to 7,000 pounds, but we have a nice smooth floor, and our guys can push them around in the shop all day long, right? And you're talking 7,000 pounds. So this deception of a Toyota Tundra pulling a space shuttle it leads the public to believe that, oh, I can tow anything. And that's not true. And it can be very unsafe when you're driving down the road, towing things that you truly can't tow. We've towed a lot of trailers over the years. I have towed a lot of trailers. Over 100,000 miles easily of RV towing, driving experience. I used to travel across the country from auctions from Florida to Utah multiple times a year. Actually, I think the most times I did it was like 10 times in 1 year, right? So I got a lot of experience driving and towing recreational vehicles, RVs, trailers, fifth wheels, whatever you name it, I've towed it most likely. Over the years of carrying some of our off-road products, we used to carry some brands like Black Series, and some of the trailers towed okay. Some of them were towed actually horribly. There was a model called the HQ12, and that thing was dangerous to tow. That thing would sway so much. Recently, we got another product, the OBI, which is the Australian-inspired trailer, and they have a D15, and that one also tows really bad. Now we have a modification where we've reoriented all of the tires from the rear to the front, and obviously it puts more tongue weight on it, but it takes weight off the back, and it's made it a better towing experience. It actually tows really, really well with the modification done. And the HU12 that we used to sell, we wouldn't allow people to leave our lot unless they got a weight distribution stage, because we were like, no, this is dangerous, and either you're gonna get in a car accident and you're gonna die, or you're gonna kill somebody on the road with the way this thing is gonna be swaying from behind. We probably should have removed the tires, but this was a while ago, and you know, we didn't really think about it. But with the OBI, doing that tire reorientation was actually really smart. But once again, what's crazy is a lot of people are always like, how does the trailer tow? And I'm always like, the trailer tows good, or it tows fine. But a lot of this can change depending on the truck that you're towing it with. So at the time of the HQ12, the Black Series, I had a Land Rover, one of those Discoveries. And when I towed the 12 with it, it was terrifying. It was dangerous. It was I thought I was gonna die one of the times I was towing it. And I'm talking 45 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour. It was very scary. I had also at this time a dually 3500 dually Cummins diesel truck. And I remember throwing the trailer behind that and towing it somewhere, and it towed great. It was like amazing. I didn't even feel it behind me, right? So a lot of people are always like, how does the trailer tow? And I'm like, well, tell me about your truck, right? Are you towing it with a Subaru, or are you towing it with a 1-ton dually diesel? Because depending on what you're towing it with, that's gonna change everything. So sometimes, yes, a trailer can be balanced very well. And the better balanced the trailer is, the better it's gonna tow no matter the tow vehicle, right? But if the trailers are not balanced perfectly, the better the tow vehicle, the better the towing experience is going to be. Because a larger tow vehicle will kind of wipe out any of the improper balancing. And so some trailers straight from the manufacturer, the only 2 trailers I've ever experienced that were just horribly imbalanced is the Dweller 15 and the HQ 12. Those ones, other ones like a little bit here and there, but these ones were egregiously bad when you were towing them, right? So those ones, the whole trailer needed to be rebalanced for sure. But every trailer is not going to be perfectly balanced. We're not talking about space shuttles. We're not talking $100 million airplanes where they make everything perfect. You know, it's a trailer, and to some degree, you get it as balanced as you can, but you got to think about it. You're running kitchens here, booths here, and so a kitchen's going to be heavier than a booth. So you do some things to counterbalance it. But even if you release to the market a perfectly balanced trailer, consumers will then go and load the trailer, and you might say, hey, the trailer's perfectly balanced, but over in your kitchen, you're going to put pots and pans and gold bars, right? That's where you put your gold bars, is in your below your pots and pans. And then over in your booth area, you're gonna put blankets and pillows, right? And you're gonna throw it out of balance. You're gonna throw it out of whack. You start throwing a ton of stuff in the rear and nothing in the front. You're taking a lot of the weight off the tongue and putting it towards the back. That's gonna create issues. So a lot of towing can also have to do with the way you yourself are balancing or loading up your trailer. So you gotta always just be aware of that, right? If you look at it and just think, man, hey, the whole kitchen's on this side, and there's not a lot of things on that side, maybe I should put a little bit of heavier stuff on this side. And a lot of times some manufacturers will think about this and they'll put more storage on the lighter side than the heavier side. There's sometimes this thought has gone into manufacturing. Sometimes a lot of this thought is not gone into it. But in general, good manufacturers are trying to be cognizant of the balance. When you say, how does the trailer tow? My follow-up question almost inevitably will always be, well, what are you towing it with? Because I tow it with a 2500 Power Wagon, and it tows great. But if I was towing it with a Subaru Forester, it might tow horribly. Or a Jeep Wrangler, it might tow horribly. A lot of times it is the pairing of the tow vehicle to the trailer, right? Now, generally, if you have a very well-balanced trailer, you can tow it with a smaller tow vehicle and get away with it. Now, there are some laws with total combined vehicle weight, right? Generally, your truck will tell you what its total gross combined vehicle weight rating is, which means the trailer itself, you in the truck, and the truck loaded, what that total weight limit is. And you should try to stay under that. I know a lot of people don't, but if you can stay under that, obviously it's going to be a better experience for you towing in general. Now, the Imperial Outdoors, our new MDC trailers, they all tow phenomenally. The Pause trailers, I've towed the 16.4 a bunch, 21.4, they tow great. Now, once again, you gotta make sure you're matching the right truck with the trailer, right? Imperial trailers, they have an extremely long tongue. If you look at them, where their tires sit to where the hitch is to your truck, they have one of the longest tongues of any trailers we carry. And generally, the longer that tongue is, the better the trailer is gonna tow. Now, you're also gonna have a very heavy tongue weight, but I've towed that trailer with lots of different trucks, and it tows great down the highway. Recently, we spent 1,200 miles with the MDC, and those trailers towed phenomenally, every single one of them. And we had trailers that were being towed by Nissan Frontiers, F-150s, Power Wagons, and they towed every single one of their models are really well balanced and really designed really well that we didn't have any issues, and we were towing 70 to 80 miles per hour. But just keep in mind, the best thing you can do, reach out to us, reach out to a sales coach, and get on the phone and let us know, this is my tow vehicle, what can I tow with it? It's gonna come down to your experience of towing too. If you don't have a lot of experience, it would be better to have a bigger truck than a smaller truck in general, right? The more and more towing experience you have, the more comfortable you'll feel towing a larger trailer with a smaller truck. I prefer to always err on the side of large truck because it just kind of covers any potential issues that I might have. The bigger truck will kind of smooth out the issues because it can handle any trailer behind it. So there you have it. Hopefully you learned something. I know that's a bunch of information, and like I said, this is a complex topic because there's so many variables in this when it comes to truck and trailer, and it's not like I can't just tell you, oh, this truck will, I mean, I can. If you call me specifically and say, hey, what can my truck pull, I can tell you a lot of things. But the other issue is like, the other thing is, I don't know if it's an issue, but it's as much as it is there's a variable in that. What's your towing experience? What do you feel comfortable towing? Because I have towed large trailers with small trucks and I felt comfortable doing that, but I have a lot of experience doing it. Some people will not feel comfortable doing that, and they'll prefer to have a bigger truck than trailer, or vice versa, right? If you have a lot of experience, then you might be able to be fine with a smaller truck and a bigger trailer. But there's always different variables, and some people want to push the limit to the maximum amount of the truck's tow capacity. Some people want to be at 50% of the truck's towing capacity. I think that's a little too conservative, quite frankly. If the manufacturer says it can tow 12,000 pounds, technically it should be able to tow 12,000 pounds, but that's under perfect conditions, under certain setups. So I wouldn't just go straight to 12,000 pounds without reading your manual, because it will tell you exactly under what conditions you can tow that much weight. A lot of times they'll say, if you want to exceed a certain amount of weight, you need a weight distribution hitch and stuff like that. So you got to read your owner's manual, understand a little bit more, reach out to us. We can help you, we can guide you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with somebody, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.